we're watching as these lies fall apart. We watch as these officials and these people who gave the orders and in charge, as their stories fall apart, and they scramble and they try to get ahead of everything. I mean, the Maui police department, the chief of the Maui police department just got caught in another lie, saying that they did not redirect people to Front Street, and there's video surveillance showing that they did, and the news used it. Look, the people who gave the orders that day, the officials of Hawaii, of Maui County, they are responsible for all these lives lost. They let this town burn and did not call for help. They did not order an evacuation. They did not send help. They are responsible for each of these lives lost, and they need to be held accountable. The people of Maui are still in danger because these same people are still in positions of power. They think they're going to get away with it. And the people of Maui are so busy surviving. They have their heads down. They've closed ranks. They're focusing on forgiveness and healing and moving forward. They don't want to stir pots. They don't want to ask questions. So the rest of the world, family members, friends, anybody who has any kind of connection with the people on Maui.
It's really going to be a problem. Yeah. I am feeding the whole town right now.
I've been ordered not to let anyone across the bridge, so you can go through CSRD and see if they'll let you through, but right now you're not allowed across the bridge.
So the spot fires aren't on my property, but the 100 acres of bush. That's where the liability issue comes in. That's when you can't be out.
I also just want to know, so if I walk across right now,
you can't enter.
So I'm going to be arrested if I go across that bridge? So who just told me that I can walk? So literally cannot get over there. Why are we wasting these resources right now on this?
That's just the way it is.
Something's happened and nobody's allowed across the bridge.
Okay, what has happened exactly? So you were instructed to stop everyone who comes across this bridge?
Correct.
And so for what reason?
I was given an order and I'm following that order.
Okay, well, what is the order exactly?
To not let anyone across the bridge.
All of the bush that behind, where if there is a fire that happens and it comes straight to my place, like, you don't understand, like, yeah, save your house, but when that bush is behind and I can run out there with a shovel and buckets of water and put out 30 spot fires in a day, when I
save that old lady's house,
I can save 10
she's going to burn down
and possibly be in the way of wildfire or other firefighting opportunities.
There is nobody out here besides us.
Watch this video. I don't know how true this is. I mean, I always thought Hawaii was a state. Seriously. But, I mean, I've also realized we've been lied to about everything. So, tell me what you think about this. This is, man.
I've waited a couple days to make this video, thinking that surely one of you would make it before me and I wouldn't have to be the one, but since it's been days and nobody's done it, here we go! So I was talking to my husband about the Hawaii fires a couple days ago and how Hawaii's not a state, and he full stopped me. What do you mean Hawaii's not a state? Hawaii's a state. No, you guys, Hawaii's not a state. Hawaii has never been a state, and we are currently conquering Hawaii. I can prove it. Before I do, I just want to take a second to validate the fact that you probably were taught that Hawaii was a state in school. Yeah. If you were to look at an 8th grade textbook now versus what you had as an 8th grade textbook, the information is completely different. They literally make it up as they go. It's all a farce. A real quick example of this is if you look up your rights in a current textbook, it said that the right to bear arms is reserved to state military or militia. It does not give the right to the people to bear arms. But I promised proof, and here it is. Hawaii is internationally recognized as a state of the United States. Sovereignty advocates argue that Hawaii is an independent nation under military occupation due to the fact that there is no treaty of annexation between Hawaiian Kingdom and the United States. There's no paperwork. But that's not all. Here you go, guys. Here is a act to provide government for the territory of Hawaii. Hawaii is not now, nor has it ever been a state. It has always been an occupied territory. It has been an ally. That is why aid took so long to get there. If they were a state, aid would have been there the next day. They are not a state. They are an allied nation. It takes us time to get supplies to allied nations. But why are we conquering Hawaii? Well, see, that's what they really don't want you to know. Aside from the fact that Hawaii is not a state, the reason that they are conquering Hawaii is because of the billionaires who own about half of the island. America has proven throughout the course of history that they have no problem eliminating indigenous people for the land. However, the other half of this land would be owned by Oprah and Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. So the elite, Epstein's clients. And since Hawaii's not part of America, American laws don't touch it. Epstein Island wouldn't be illegal if it was Hawaii. And you guys, this didn't just happen yesterday. We have been trying to steal Hawaii for so long that we are being prosecuted for several war crimes against them.
Yeah, it does make sense that they would try to turn the Hawaiian Islands into a Jeffrey Epstein Island. I'm going to share the story of what I went through with a girlfriend on Kauai when I was living on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. I worked as a server, well, cook, server, cashier. I was like multiple things at this job. At the Moloa Sunrise juice bar in Moloa, Kauai, which is near Anahola. The boss who hired me there, who owns that restaurant, the juice bar, is Jeff. Can't think of his last name right now, but I bet I could find it. Anyway, he owns Moloa Sunrise Juice Bar, and Jeff is actually a part of a human trafficking, sex trafficking ring on the island of Kauai. Mark Zuckerberg is also a part of this same human trafficking, sex trafficking ring on Kauai, currently happening right now. Now, when I worked at the juice bar with my girlfriend, she was the manager at the time. I won't put her name on here because I know her story is very sensitive, so I'm just going to share what happened to her and exclude her name for her protection. She told me when I got hired on the job to watch out for Jeff. And she said, why? She said, if he ever asks you to come to his house for a paid massage, don't do it. She said, whatever you do, do not do it. It's not worth it. She's like, I would know. She told me this on my first day of training, and I was really like confused, like, wait, what? Like, because I was just like, I thought we're supposed to be training. I'm like, this has nothing to do with my training, but I could tell she was genuinely concerned about my well-being and safety working at the juice shop, so I had to be curious about where was this information coming from. She later told me how she was a slave. She was a trafficking slave in the ring on Kauai, and Jeff was the one abusing her. The reason how she got involved into the ring was because she's a massage therapist, and so that's her job, is giving massages. So when Jeff came to her at the smoothie shop telling her to come to his house to give him a paid massage, she just thought, oh, what a nice way to make extra money, I'll do it. Came to find out she unconsciously and was unaware that she was getting pulled into a sex trafficking, human trafficking ring on Kauai. Jeff was only hiring young girls at the smoothie shop, and that's why I got hired, because I was like, you know, young, single, pretty female. All the girls that were there were young, single, pretty females. Whether in high school, college age, whatever, very young. Jeff would even tell us, oh, wear whatever you want. You can wear booty shorts, you can wear shorts, you can wear tank top, you can wear whatever you want here. He would literally say that. You can wear tank top, you can wear shorts, like, even if they're super short, it's okay. Like, wear what you want. Like, he was encouraging for us to show off our ass, our boobs. Something very inappropriate to, like, tell your employees at a juice bar. Anyway, so back to my girlfriend. She got abused in this ring for years, and she told me how she was scared for her life and she was doing everything she could to escape, but that there was nothing she could do to escape the ring living on the island, because they were threatening her life and her safety, and they knew where she was all the time because it's a small island. So all she could do was try to protect the girls at my job and anybody else who was affiliated with Jeff, to try to keep all these women and young people and children away from him. It got so bad, her being a slave on this human trafficking ring on Kauai, that she fled the island to, like, you know, set herself free and start a new life. But, like, that was the only way. That was the only way for her to be set free of it all, was to leave the island, because they were trafficking her and threatening her life. This is on the island of Kauai, and she told me this story back in, like, 2016, okay? This has been going on for years, human trafficking on the islands, but especially it was going on Kauai because of Mark Zuckerberg is one of the main people involved with this being a thing. The private beaches they own, this is where they transfer the women and the children on boat. The private beaches that nobody has access to except the people who own that property. And that's how they get away with it, because nobody sees anything going on the private beaches unless like you're on a boat or something, or you're hiking somewhere that has a view. But yeah, this is why I wanted to bring up my point about Maui and Lahaina, because I know Mark Zuckerberg and Oprah have something to do with all these human trafficking rings going on the Hawaiian Islands. Kauai was the first one I knew of, but now Maui. I can't even tell you how many locals on Kauai back when I used to hitchhike, because hitchhiking was a thing, you know, on the island, and during that time too. I can't tell you how many people, how many locals in Kanaka would tell me, please don't do hitchhiking for the long term, or you're gonna get trafficked on this island, you're gonna get kidnapped, because they're like, we see it happen to so many women and like children going missing on this island. So they're like, they said especially don't hitchhike at night. The locals would always tell me that don't hitchhike at night, try not to hitchhike, like, because everyone was aware of the fact that people were going missing. It's real. And they want to make the Hawaiian Islands like the Jeffrey Epstein Island. And that's why I'm speaking out about it, because it needs to be talked about. This needs to get blown up, like, now. It's because, yeah, it does make sense that they would try to turn the Hawaiian Islands into a Jeffrey Epstein Island.